And I'm Yohance.
And welcome to our channel, Get Into the Black, where we talk to you about our experience living here in Puerto Rico. And today's video is going to be just a quick update where we're going to give you guys some insights on what we've been into for the last 10 months. I think that's the last time we did a video.
Last video upload live we did.
Yeah, last 10 months. Just where we left off at, we had just let you guys know that we had a new baby Yo, so new parents, navigating that. But then we also bought this house that we're in right now, and we decided to post it on Airbnb.
Mm-hmm. And that's been a roller coaster ride, mostly up for us. We did it in March. It was our first listing that we went live, and we started renovating in January of last year, 2023. So it's been a great experience, and we've had some stories we can't wait to share with you, with dealing with contractors, with just overall experience renovating a house in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's been crazy. We had run-ins with Gringo Go Home. We got robbed.
Yes.
Literally. Extorted, low-key.
It was an extortion that led to the robbery. Yes.
It's been crazy. It's been crazy, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. I loved doing what we've been doing. It's been really fun, an exciting experience.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the difficulties, just around parenthood being one thing. We have a new baby coming too.
Yep. Another one in the oven.
Yes. So that's one reason why we've been really MIA. We've just been very busy, and staying low key because people can't let everybody know what we're doing it, and how we're doing it.
Yeah, and let's just get into that, right?
Yeah.
So one of the biggest things, first thing, is just the experience being here. We're going over 2.5 years now. We have had our experience be kind of taken out of context, I would say, from people online. Mostly people who don't live on the island, mostly people who are not connected to the island as actually living here. So they're getting stories from third-party sources, YouTubers who have, views to sell so they can be monetized. And there's certain narratives that have been pushed. So one of the things that we've gotten, and being new parents, is we're mindful of, how we present ourselves. And I think, we've always tried to present ourselves in a very positive light. And we have gotten a lot of hate online in the comments. You can look. There's going to be hate right now off this comment. So we just been, as a father and a protector, we decided to kind of lay low, because one of the biggest things that I know growing up in South Central LA is that you don't let people know your next move before you've done it. So, and as a person of affirmation and personal development, which our street knowledge, to be versus what the affirmation and the spiritual world says do, speak it and it will be true. And we haven't, I've been in conflict of that. What about you?
Well, I feel like we can still speak it. We just don't have to speak it on camera all the time.
Yeah.
So that's kind of been what it's been about. Everything we've tried to do or we want to attain our goals, we've been able to do them. We made Superhost in the first period.
The first period was eligible.
Exactly. And we kept that status the whole time. We have one of the highest occupancy here. Our rate, we are focusing on that and raising it up, which is very competitive. I think we're $1 off from our competitors, but our occupancy is almost double theirs. So we definitely are turning a profit, doing well in the things that we're doing. But our Airbnb was targeted, part of it. But it's crazy because we're gonna have to tell that story. Because it wasn't really about the Airbnb. They just utilized that as a way to fire up people, to dox us, and to hate our way. I can't wait to tell that story. I can't wait. Well, I'm not going to do it today. But it's
about updating.
Yes, it's a good story, though.
So the next thing is the experience that we have renovating, right? Renovating the Airbnb was difficult because trying to find contractors to do the work, And one of the things is the house we purchased was a house that was empty. So there were a lot of repairs, kind of minor repairs. Like it wasn't any structural issues, but it was like plumbing. Like we've been dealing with plumbing.
I
on
wouldn't
a
call
regular
that minor because some of the stuff with the plumbing was kind of it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like the whole remember the shower
Yeah.
situation, how the water wouldn't run. Wasn't it like unless you flush the toilet or
Yeah,
something like that?
so what I mean is we didn't have to at first tear out pipes and do major plumbing reconstruction, which I've seen on a lot of my friends' projects. What we had to do was make sure the hot water was heaters and stuff were working, which they wasn't, and they were under voltage wise, which is a common thing because the electricity here is the highest per wattage in the United States in their territories. So we've been in that mode of we were taking one unit at a time and we kept running into issues. So for example, our second unit, once we got to that one, which I was overseeing being the contractor myself because I wanted to learn and get that experience. And we found that if you want flushing toilet, you can't have hot water from the shower. But if you want to be able to have hot water, you cannot flush the toilet. And all this was simply because when they put in the new bathroom walls and tiles, they didn't put like Teflon.
It's always
Teflon
something so simple.
Yeah, it's like why did you skip that? So a lot of Puerto Rico stuff because it's hard to get labor. So handymen do supplies the labor. So you get a lot of handyman work. And so we had that. Like I really recently just have to replace all the brand new 220 voltage water heaters that we got so we can make sure we have hot water because the hot water just stopped working. Yeah. And our guest like it's hot, then it goes cool for like 5 seconds and then it's back hot, so it's irregular. So as a business owner, the first thing I do is get the plumber, which takes 2 weeks to get out here because they're so busy. First of all, plumbers make more than doctors here, and so that's a whole other thing. But yeah, and so we replaced these brand new, expensive, supposed to be really good water heaters with new water heaters.
Which is such a hard thing to assess because guests will tell us stuff that is not necessarily right. Every time something happens, it's always broken. And it's like most of the time it's not broken. It's just like user error. But you have to assess the shower, but wouldn't you have to run it for a long period of time? Yeah, it was
about 10 minutes, 10 plus minutes, then you're going to run into that irregular situation is what we found.
Which, luckily, we had enough people tell us at first. We thought it was the knobs or something, but we had enough
people. Which was that.
Yeah, that was one part.
That was one part. I had to keep replacing these plastic knobs because
they would break them too.
They were cracking, yeah. Well, and because it's all cheap.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I don't blame them. That's what we had access to at the time we had access. So
yeah. So what else we want to?
Oh, I think another thing that just consumed a lot of our time in regards to parenting. It's really hard. For me, okay, so you guys know I was a former social worker. So I think I just have a lot of reserves, or I need to get over some things about leaving my kid in places. So I don't necessarily trust every daycare. And just with our experience with Gringo Go Home, a lot of it too has been very race related. And that's kind of the things I talked about too when I was back home. So carrying some of those still my activist theories and thoughts about life and the world and how it works is really hard for me to trust every daycare because I want to make sure that I'm putting my child in an environment where he can flourish and be successful. I know he's very hyper, but it's not bad. He's just very explorative. Yeah, it's very normal. But I do know, just working in that field, I've seen kids be stereotyped and things like that just because of their behaviors. Even though, I would have kids get referred to me, they're like, oh, this child is so hyper, they have ADHD or something like that. And I'm sitting in the classroom, he's literally acting like every other child in the class.
Yep.
So I having those fears, I didn't want to put my child in a certain situation. And since I do stay home most of the time, so I consider myself a stay-at-home mom. I do the Airbnb, but that doesn't consume most of my time. The bulk of my time is watching my child. But mama need her own time sometimes.
Yeah, that's why we got.
It can be stressful.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, and that's the hard part. So we decided to go with the nanny babysitter style.
Part time. Yeah.
Yes, that comes part time, which is great. That's how I'm here today to be able to.
We are here today because for us to be in the same place at the same time is difficult because, like I said, again, our son is active, so it's being very mindful of spaces. You know, a lot of the spaces are not baby friendly. And you want to be mindful of that.
Oh, I think what's that? Pizza. Sorry about that. I had to take a little pizza break.
Gotta eat.
I was starving. But yeah, so we left off talking about parenthood and what we decided to do and how we're kind of navigating that, which we decided to go with the nanny/babysitter that comes part-time. The hardest part with that has been keeping someone consistently, just because the nature of being here is a lot of times people don't stay for long periods of time, or because people have more autonomy over their time. After a while, they don't want to do it no more.
Well, I would just speak to that is that we're very mindful of who we're hiring, so we hire local as well as people that are a part of our community. So we have different groups on WhatsApp that we have people in there. So people are coming here looking for jobs, and we look out for them and say, hey, are you interested in this? Because we do provide employment for folks on the island. So the people that's been in our group are great people. We feel comfortable with them, but again, they're transitioning. They have their own goals. Versus if we go with somebody that's like a full-time nanny, this is what they do. They got a whole business here, which could be more. That has its own challenges as well that we just are still navigating now.
Yeah, like even in regards to like our cleaners, because in the beginning I was cleaning mostly. That was a little too stressful for all of us, the whole family. So we now have like a hybrid system with, depending on how long a guest stays here, I or Yo will clean, or if the guest stayed a little bit longer, we'll have the cleaner come. Which the cleaner too is the same thing as with the babysitter. We tried using a local business for the cleaning, but it just didn't work out. What we have in mind in regards to how we want things to function, because like I said, I did the cleaning for like the first 3 months. So we kind of have our system down packed. We got, and we're probably more efficient than most people because we wanted to make sure we focused on time. And because I had actually did the job, I understood like, where do you get bottlenecked at, which is usually the laundry. So making sure that we have plenty of spares available. We have a linen closet with everything, a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff. And having tools, which he's Mr. Gadget Man. So if you guys remember in the beginning, his zappers and all that stuff. So we have cleaning gadgets to help kind of make the cleaning a little bit easier and less labor intensive, so that people can focus on the small little details when it comes to hosting, so that when guests come to our space, they feel welcomed. But then like we also paid attention to them. Like one of the things is when we have children, like infants, like putting out baby towels and things like that for them. Yeah,
and it comes down to just the pure economics. If a unit we're getting net pay $160 and then we pay $150 to a cleaner, doesn't make sense to do, especially in our place where it's not that large, where we need to it doesn't take that much. And like I said, I'd rather do that work, because the difference is that most people are real estate owners and not business owners that do Airbnb, and we've been seeing the thinning out of those owners and those hosts. So we call ourselves business owners, We're in the business of hospitality, and we do own the real estate as well.
Yeah, so just like you can go to your local mom and pop grocery store and you'll actually see the owner working it, you'll actually see us. And I think that's why we also get such great reviews, because we're so hands-on the business. And when there is an issue, we are going to respond quickly. Unlike other hosts or just people, when it's more of like a property management situation, there's people so far removed that they don't have to look at you in your face. Cause cause Yo comes here almost every day. So if there's an issue, you're gonna see him, and it's gonna be real awkward. He's trying to walk past like he don't see you. So no, like,
and I'm not that kind of person anyway, so
we're not. Like, we've responded to people like in the middle of the night, like, because it's usually me who I'm always on my phone, always looking, even in the middle of the night, because usually I'm up with baby doing something with him. So I'll even be like, yo, like, no, we need to go over there, go help them, go figure this out. They need some assistance. So we do go well over, far and beyond, probably what most hosts do.
Yeah, because we actually are hosts, and I've learned the difference. So part of why we clean and why we are so hands-on is because we are creating a system. We are creating standard procedures of operation. So when we're in a position to start hiring out, we want to make sure we are setting our employees and our contractors up for success, because that was the biggest issue when you use these other kind of larger companies that are a cleaning company that they hire out, is that they're sending constantly different people, and so they're constantly asking the same questions over and over. So it's like, I'm paying you more money for you to annoy me and to annoy my other people.
And they were the most expensive.
They're most expensive. It's like, what are we paying for here, right? And that's a common thing throughout business in general. But here with everything being so close, and this is our first business where it's ours. That it's just it's really hits right here in the back of the neck. It's just
like they'll try to do outrageous things too, because you got to think about it. Like when you work, I worked at Forever 21, and sometimes we would go hide in the dressing room and go talk. That's what the cleaners are doing to their bosses or managers of the actual owners of the cleaning company. So we had one situation where literally
didn't clean nothing.
They didn't clean anything and tried to pass off dirty towels as clean. And I could tell, because we asked for them to send pictures, and I could tell in the pictures, I was like, those towels don't even look like they've been washed.
Yeah. And the other thing is, one of the procedures that we've got is that we're doing taking a video before and after, and asking our cleaners and putting that in part of the procedure, and for claims, right? Because we've had issues where we've only had one guest ever cancel on us because our cleaning wasn't up to par, and and we took that very personal. So that's why I got new gadgets, because when I came to clean, I know how hard it is to mop. I was the first person to start cleaning the houses, right? And then we realized that Jade had more experience with her family and stuff in the cleaning business. I am a home cleaner. I do better cleaning my own house, which takes me all night and all day. But my house is spotless, right? Everything is super clean, which is what you want, but not with the efficient of time. So I come in with these gadgets. Jade has a gadget that she brought with a cleaning brush. We'll have to share. We'll share some of these items with you on a more detailed video. But yeah, that's something we've been up to. What's something else?
I think too, with the new baby, which we're going to do more videos about that, because we didn't really talk about the birthing experience with baby Yo. Because we did announce in our community tab, for those who are subscribed, you got to see when we made our pregnancy announcement, that and one of the questions people asked were, are you going to be birthing in Puerto Rico? So I want to talk about that experience, because this time we decided to go with a birthing center. I don't know if we're going to actually birth at the center yet. I haven't yet decided. I probably got to see.
In theory.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Yes,
the birthing center
is
30 minutes away.
Yes, which is not too terrible, because labor takes a minute. Hopefully, I'm hoping. Yesterday we were talking about it. I did birthing class, and they were like, "Well, you shouldn't take as long this time because last time was 32 hours." 34. See, I can't even remember. I
do. Except that 1 hour
exhausted.
I did fall asleep. Exhausted, fell asleep. I was like, oh, I was asleep. I didn't even know. Yeah.
It's pure exhaustion. But even though now I'm learning that first like 12 hours, we shouldn't even been worried about nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
but so the I don't know if you wanna. I don't want to go too detailed in it, but the thing is the last time we used a medical doctor that did home visits, and based off of what we were coming from California, financially and the overall experience about safety and about care, it was a better experience. It was going to be a better experience for us.
Yeah,
which
in transition, because we
were
always
in
want to do
transition.
more of like a natural birthing situation. So yeah, that definitely from people who like definitely because he worked in the medical field.
Yeah.
My family are in the medical field. That was a perfect transition for us to do this idea of not even birthing in a hospital.
Yeah.
Because the idea of just going out there and just free balling, like some people do unassisted birth where they're just there by pretty much by themselves with their partners.
Going to the river.
Yeah, yeah, and doing it themselves. This is like a perfect. Like I don't think I'll ever be that extreme, but I think there is a healthy in between.
And like I said, I got the opportunity to do the delivery, and I look forward to doing it again, or what we were talking about in one of the birthing class, Jade doing the like catching the baby this time around, and like I said, we'll see where we at doing it, and just being able to have those experiences because we've spoken to our elders and aunts and people, and they wished and wanted to do that, but back in that time, the 80s and 90s, that wasn't a very common thing.
Yeah, it was such a taboo thing to talk about that like people didn't even feel comfortable like even thinking about it. But now it's like something. It's like they say like 30% of Black women now birth outside of the hospitals.
I don't think any woman of color in the United States or predominantly these places should be birthing in the hospital personally.
Which is crazy because even in Puerto Rico, they have the same issue where, and most of the women technically should be considered women of color, but they still find that, predominantly just, how they treat certain bodies is not good.
It's not favorable.
Yes, not listening to people's voices and things like that. I'm not even getting into that, but yeah.
So, another thing we wanted to talk about was, I think that was
I think that was it.
Second baby, we talked about that.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that we're looking to do forward is.
Oh yes, our future videos that we wanted to do for you all. We're gonna start doing some story time, so talking about things that happened over the last like 10 months that we haven't really talked to you all. Going more in depth in those things. Talking about the birthing center, showcasing that because I really like the center and what they're doing for women. So I think it's really cool. He's gonna be trying to pull in some more men to be involved because it's very womanly there. Very, very womanly.
There was an experience. One of the guys, we were both entrepreneurs and stuff. I'm at a conference in between right now. I was filming, and this conference is a great conference. And I see him at the party, at the after party, and I was like, "Aren't you supposed to be at the birthing class?" He's like, "I'm working," and I was like, "Yeah, because the way business is done in Puerto Rico is relationship based. So we're as you're an entrepreneur, which I highly suggest if you're coming to Puerto Rico, that you should be doing entrepreneurship. That you have to find the balance, and it was just really interesting seeing them there, and I was like, "Yo, like we both here." But it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it does. And that's the thing about PR. It's like it's big but it's small. So you have to be careful what you're doing, who you mix and mingle with, because yes, you can get caught up in a lot of stuff.
that's going to be a story time. And I just want to preference that, like I just said, all the business to this house, to the other properties we're looking at purchasing, to the dealings that we do in our business here. The community is small. The island's only but 3 million people, okay? And you have to be mindful of how you're maneuvering in these groups, because what you do one thing is going to get heard over there. So if you're doing bad business, it's only so far, so long you're going to be able to go. And I think people be mindful, and because we all left the mainland and other places to get away from that type of negative energy. And the reality is that negative energy is still here. It's everywhere. You really can't outrun it, but you can identify it and make sure you acknowledge it so you can, sidestep it and maneuver it. But we're gonna tell some story times of people, trying to do dirty business and us having to,
pull out our South Central LA.
Yeah, Long Beach.
Yeah, they figured out real quick. They was like, oh,
yeah. Yeah, well, and that's it. Like, I told someone today, I said, I've done business with family and friends, which ideally I think you would want to do that, but I realized who I thought were family are just relatives, and I'm very big on that. Like, some people are just relatives. We're not family, you know what I mean? That's a loose word that sometimes people use, but the community we building with you guys are becoming family because you're choosing us and we're choosing you, and we are because like I said, another thing we're going to talk about is we've actually had a handful more of couples and individuals that have come across this content and that said, what you guys talked about, hearing your story, really gave me some comfort, some exposure to what to expect, and they were really grateful for it. And now we are, we speak, we do things. So that's something I want to do. I told Jade I want to host a little something where we have, people who've watched our content before moving here. And just kind of build that community physically, because it's really important, because we've had issues where people have gone missing, and it's like, how did that happen? Like, because people didn't know that
they didn't check in.
A community is here. Like, you gotta check in. Don't come to if you come to Puerto Rico and you didn't check in, I'm not gonna feel bad for you.
No.
I'm not gonna feel bad. I rarely ever do anyway, but if you
But you definitely should check in. The dynamics here is very interesting.
We're offering to help.
The US.
When I stop offering this, don't check in. But until then, it comes to it almost feels like, wow.
Because sometimes we joke, we're like, well, what's it called, a green book?
Yeah.
Like, you gotta have a green book to navigate around here, because it feels like Jim Crow South here to me sometimes, where I'm just like, what's going on? Like, why are you doing that? And it can be difficult because sometimes people will gaslight you, especially if somebody hasn't been here a long time, or they just come to visit. So they don't have the same experiences, or they might just only hang out with locals all the time. Which you're definitely going to get a different experience, because one time I'm walking down the street and so I've been practicing my little Spanish, and I try to bring it out because I want to blend in sometimes, and I want to engage in the culture and with the people, and I want to show them that I'm respectful. So I got my greetings together. I thought I had it pretty well, because sometimes now I'll say buena, buen dia, and they don't think anything of it. They just start talking to me in full-blown Spanish. So I thought my greetings was good. I greeted some guy on the street. Apparently it was not that good, because he turned around and said, "Don't talk to me, green guy." And I'm like, what? Yeah. So I'm pregnant. So I don't really say anything. I just keep walking, because we're just on this street just walking. I'm just like, okay, wow. But the funny part is, the guy, he walks up and there's a car. Somebody gets out of the car, and the guy who gets out the car greets me first. And then the guy, he starts apologizing for what he said, because it's like, yeah, you don't know me, you don't know why I'm here, what I'm doing. It is just, sometimes it's just, it's hate.
I'll end it with this. Our friends who are of African or Black or African American, whatever you how they identify is up to them. Experience who just do a only local experience has experienced more of that racism and more of um, the uncomfortableness of how they've been treated. When they just they don't have the community of us, right, to kind of bounce it and just have that somewhat of home, that community, and that's been the experience. Like I would say I have a good mix of both. I do get the opportunity to go out into the small towns and areas and stuff, and because I'm genuinely a person who practice my positive energy, I do get people who greet me, and when people do talk to me, I don't do rude things like, "Oh, I've been living here and I know this and like that." You know, I just politely, as you know, especially, oh my gosh, especially if you have someone, because my overall experience of Puerto Rico and Puerto Ricans who are here have been positive. It's been very welcoming. But it's something about the negative that can overwhelm you, and I'm like, yo, it's really just a little. But they're so loud.
Because it's
and
usually online.
Yeah, it's online.
Typically online.
Except that one.
Except the one guy. I mean, you'll see stuff spray painted on the walls and things like that. But it reminds me of back home. Like, you know that these people who have these kind of views exist, but as far as like engaging with them like every day, no, you don't encounter them all the time. But online, it's fierce, and there are some like real cyber bullies, and they just they ain't got nothing else better to do. Like literally spending days like going through harassing us in comments, harassing other people they found out connected to us. It's just like, y'all extra. Like, y'all got a whole WhatsApp group talking about us, posting our pictures. Like, that's weird.
And the weird part about it is that we are supposed to be in community, right? When you leave, like when my family left Jamaica, they were in the hood where African Americans predominantly are. When my friends, when I was in school in New York, and the Dominicans that I was friends with, when I got there, my classmates were predominantly white. We're not that opening community. Who I spent more time with the Dominicans, right? And so we played basketball together and everything, and it was just a connection. So when I came here, I wasn't expecting the racism to be pushed so much into the classism, into all the different things, all the different tools that you can exercise racism, right? So I just think it's one of those things that when you come here or you go anywhere, check in. The internet is your friend most of the time. And check in. There is a community of people that are there that are willing to help you, and that's something that we're looking forward to do more of, is helping, being an on-ramp to those who are considering moving to Puerto Rico that are of the diaspora.
I think the major part of that too, because I'm thinking about that too, like in Long Beach, we have a lot of Puerto Ricans too. We all in community with each other.
So Puerto Ricans in Long Beach?
Yeah, there they are. It's funny because they're mostly a lot of times more super melanated. So like most of the time people don't know. But yes, there is. So back home, like I was always taught like anybody, like, you know, black people are everywhere. So like these is your people. Like, be nice to them, help them, things like that. So when I came here, I'm thinking, we're not wealthy, we're not rich people. Like, we just got two.
Spirit.
Yeah, we're rich in spirit. We just got two pennies to rub together. Like, we're just not those people. So I'm thinking, like, the whole narrative of who they don't like the wealthy, which, you know, that makes sense. Most people who are working class or poor, we don't mess with them like that. Like, and that makes sense. But when you came here and you're getting lumped in with them, like you have something, and you're like, I'm like, what? We have a house. The people around here probably make more money than us. Like, and it's like you're gentrifying them. How? Do you know what that word means? Like, how can I do that when I'm working class? I make it probably less than them. How am I gentrifying anybody? But then that's when you realize you don't get a pass because there's even Puerto Ricans who come from the U.S. and they want to come back home and they even have terrible experiences here.
Oh my gosh! I just had the conversation in the Uber ride to the conference about that, and the thing is that when you really look at what words mean, be mindful of the words that you just throwing at people.
Oh, yeah.
And like saying gentrification, no African American or black person is gentrifying Puerto Rico. We ain't got the community, we ain't got the money, we ain't got the resources to actually gentrify.
It's these narratives because they like make up stuff. Like remember the whole there's a group chat where the black people are trying to gentrify Puerto Rico, and it's funny because we say it and we told our group chat that somebody was saying these comments about us and telling people in other countries. It was one person who they are Norican, so they're Puerto Rican, but they are from New York, and they were telling a Dominican girl that the black people here were trying to gentrify them. So I went into our black group chat and I told them what was going on, and everyone was kind of laughing because they were like, I wish we had a community where we collected our money together and we worked together in that way. I wish black people did that.
Yeah,
but we
it's
just
very small.
we just don't do that, especially not on a large scale where you can call it gentrification. Yes, we probably have our like individual partnerships with like our contractor or something, and we work with him. But like as far as there being a conglomerate of black people here buying up Puerto Rico, no, it's not. And if y'all got a hit group somewhere, let us know because we want to get in it.
Well, I'm trying to create it. So if you want to be a part of that group that's trying to use collective economics and work together, definitely please reach out through Instagram DM or Twitter DM. We got our socials there. So I think that kind of wraps it up.
Yes. So excited to bring you guys this video. Thank you for staying till the end. If you can, do all that good stuff. Comment
and subscribe and share this video with someone that you think that are considering moving to Puerto Rico, considering visiting Puerto Rico. We would love to host some of our subscribers and people in the community. Like I said, we have a great Airbnb that's walking distance to all the restaurants, gym, grocery store, beach. Like you don't need a car, and everything is nothing but 5 to 10 minutes away. Uber pretty much, as long as traffic time, and now you're looking at 15 to 20 minutes. We would love to do that. And if you are considering anything moving here and want to go in detail, we are doing consultations and stuff like that. So just reach out to us, and we'll be happy to support you in your journey because we got support. So we're just sharing that.
And any information we shared, that needs like more details and stuff like that, you can find it in the description box. So like our listings and things like that, you'll be able to have access to it. And just so you guys know too, we host like from small groups, so 1 people, solo travelers, all the way up to groups as large as 14 people. So we can help you. We got you. And then if we never have a space for you here, because sometimes we be booked and busy, we have plenty of people. We can make sure that you are in a safe place. And your money will be well spent.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you guys for taking this time out. We appreciate you. We're sending love and peace your way. Thank you.
Bye-bye.